So I made a post yesterday on LinkedIn talking about the idea of the perfect email. Now, this video is not going to be applicable to everyone. I mean, you're more than welcome to watch through the whole thing, but it's largely for salespeople, SDRs, email marketers, growth agencies, etc. Because it's going to talk about the way to craft perfect email in order to ensure that you get responses and convert the responses into a meeting. So for you, those of you who don't know, I started working in sales around 7 years ago now. My first job was as a commercial real estate broker, where that was my first experience in what's known as inbound leads. So that means instead of you going out and looking for prospects, they're coming into you through marketing. So the owner of that specific agency was very good. The brokerage was very good at generating marketing around the properties that were under our agency. And all we had to do was set up appointments and viewings and then negotiate between the prospects and the owners of the commercial office buildings. So I did that for about a year and a half, and then I moved on to insurance. Now, insurance is really, you call a financial advisor when you sell insurance, but it's really a glorified salesman. So it's your job to go find the prospects, your job to meet them, create the plan, sell them on the plan, and then manage the client relationship between yourself and your clients. So it's really a full sales cycle. Did that for about 3.5 years, and then I moved on to the SaaS industry, tech, and the sales executive, as well as some SDR work. And then last year I opened this agency. So the reason I'm making this video is because I feel like it's important to talk about it, because I see it a lot out there, including in some of my own emails up until recently when I noticed this. But I do also just want to put a disclaimer out there that the nature of this channel, it's not necessarily going to be one topic specifically. It's going to be covering quite a large variety of topics, things that I'm involved in, like for example sales and growth consulting for startups, and then also maybe some philosophical thoughts that I have, and maybe even my political interest, I don't know. But for now, it's going to be things between some ideas that I have, thoughts that I have, and then also just my daily operations and how you can learn, maybe for your own agency, or if you look to start your own business or are a founder of a startup, etc. So there's, out in today's world, there's this idea of a perfect email. And I'm going to be frank, that doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a perfect email. You can have an email that works perfectly for one person and then just doesn't work for someone else. Like I remember 3 months ago, I was visiting a friend and I was literally about to walk, literally as I was about to enter her place, I got a response email from one of my email campaigns. The oak literally said, F off, this is a terrible email. Where a day before that, I scheduled a discovery call with that same email copy. So it just shows you there's no such thing as a perfect email. The whole way how this notion of a perfect email came to exist is back in the day when email was still a novice idea. It was something that wasn't very popular, and people were starting to realize that it's one of the many ways on how you can generate leads and get in front of prospects. So in the early days, when it was still, the competition in the market wasn't so saturated. I mean, open rates naturally were high because, you see an email coming in, you're going to see, oh, okay, it's so-and-so offering so-and-so. Then you respond, or with either I'm interested or not interested. So naturally, open rates were high, response rates were high, even conversion rates were high. And pair that with the fact that there were very low barrier to entry and also there were virtually non-existent spam traps. So you could get away with sending a humongous volume of emails on the daily, which naturally, with volume, usually comes results, unless the product you're selling is absolute worthless. Then I don't care what you do, unfortunately, it's just not going to work. So fast forward to today, and up until very recently, like I still remember at the beginning of the year, my own emails were getting like 6% open rates and 20% response rates, up until really like 4 months ago, where all of a sudden the response rates just went down, the open rates went down, the spam traps became more intense, and email just became literally a modern day war zone for the attention of the prospect. Like, it has become impossible to get people to if to firstly open, and if they're open, then get them to respond, and then get them to respond positively. So from now and onwards, what an email marketer, the big differentiator between a great email marketer and an average one, or a great SDR and an average one, or a great growth consultant and an average one, or anyone who does any sort of outbound, is going to be those people, not who know how to craft a perfect email, no, that doesn't work anymore. Is those people who know how to get in front of the right people and then send them a decently good email. So the idea is then, all you need, some personalization, the offer you have, and then the call to action. It doesn't have to be some miraculous, one-shaking, incredible scientific email. It can just be a simple, personalization with the solution that you're offering to their problem that you identified, and the call to action. And I promise you, if you have a good solution that solves problems and you have found the people who actually need your problem, your email campaigns will start working again. So instead of focusing on writing the most perfected copied email and A/B testing as much as possible, spend less energy on that, or even just let AI write your emails for you so that you can spend most of your time prospecting and finding the ways to get in front of the right people. So try that. Spend some time on making sure that the prospects in your pipeline are the perfect ideal client profile, and then let the AI write the email and let's see how that goes. I do think that is what is going to make the difference in your campaigns in today's world. See you guys in the next one.